And we are live tonight, episode 58 of The Shooter's Mindset with, Chad from Storm Lake Barrels, Chad Henry, our co-host, Kelly Sampson, and Schwell. If you guys haven't noticed, the panel is a little bit smaller than usual and much better looking. So, Kelly, how you doing up tonight?
Good.
That was kind of rough for an intro, but, it's my first time running the show by myself, so work with me tonight, guys. And our special guest for the night tonight, Chad Henry from Storm Lake Barrels. How you doing tonight, Chad?
Great. How are you?
I can't complain. Well, I could, but I don't think you want to hear it, right?
Yeah. It wouldn't help.
So how you doing tonight? Are you ready for this show?
I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, tell us
I've
a little
got
bit about.
guns and barrels and
So you're ready to jump right in, which is great. Tell us a little bit about Storm Lake Barrels.
we've been making barrels for 35 years right in here in the USA. We're just west of Knoxville, Tennessee. So making barrels in the patriot state of shooting stuff. We make the finest drop-in match-grade barrels for competition that you can get. We have world champions that shoot these barrels, and they shoot them for a reason.
Outstanding stuff. I've taken a look at your product line and the things that you guys have to offer, warranties, all of that stuff, and this is all stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to jump into some questions. But first, let me go ahead and make a quick announcement. Shooter's Mindset is brought to you tonight by Storm Lake Barrels, as well as Rand CLP. And the link to our tonight's giveaway will be posted on the Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. So go ahead and check that out. Tonight you can win a 2-ounce bottle of Rand CLP, as well as the barrel of your choice from Storm Lake, and a signed copy of Julie Gollop's Shoot. And like I said, guys, tonight it's just me and Kelly. I'm working 8 different screens, so there may be a little bit of lag between the questions. Now, Chad, I had a quick question about the barrels and why you guys chose the models that you chose to offer to the shooting world.
Okay. Well, we used to offer 1,500 different barrels, and we took those down to the top 150 selling barrels because all of our dealers and distributors really didn't want to put 1,500 different SKUs in their books, I'm sure. But we now offer the top 150 selling Glock XD, Smith & Wesson, and 1911 barrels on the market.
Nice. Well, I mean, being in the shooting world and covering the things that we cover, those seem to be the most popular and highly used competition grade barrels out there. Now, for those guys out there that don't know or don't understand, what is it that these aftermarket barrels bring that the standard or stock barrel doesn't offer right out of the box?
Accuracy. That's all we do is accuracy here. We put all of our time and effort into making sure that this barrel is the tightest tolerance, most reliable, accurate barrel that we can make. And we have very strict quality control. We have the world record 1911 shot. I don't know if anybody's aware of that. It's 600 yards. Carl Lippard put 6 out of 8 rounds on a 2x4 steel plate at 600 yards with a government length 1911. So that's where it matters right there, accuracy, and that's what we concern ourselves with.
Nice. I mean, I know I have a hard time out to 50 yards, so 600 is.
Man, me too.
That
600 yards.
Move.
I talked to Carl about that, and he was pushing the battlefield back with a government length 1911, and I think it's amazing. I'm glad he can shoot 600 yards. I don't know.
I would hate to be in a position to have a need or a desire to do something like that.
Right.
But hey, if it can
But
be
6
done,
out of 8 rounds, that's not a fluke. That's consistency. That's
right.
a 5-inch barrel.
Right, exactly. Now, with all of the testing and the fitting, I've seen a lot of competition guns out there. Are Storm Lake barrels drop in? Like if I ordered one for my M&P 9mm full size, when I get it from you, is that it? I get it and I drop it right in,
Yeah.
replace it.
Yes. And if anybody ever has an issue with fitting, they can send it to me personally, and I personally fit them. Most of the time, I don't need their weapon to do it. I can measure it and see and talk to them, and they tell me where it's, and I can see where it's rubbing, and I personally fix it and fit them for it. So it's a lot of times some people do send their slide in, and I match fit it for them. But 99% of the time they drop right in tight and are super accurate.
Great stuff. Kelly, do you have any questions or jump in while you can? I notice you're jumping in and out. So as soon as you get in, throw out a question and we'll keep it going.
I know, I'm sorry. I hear most of what you guys are saying. What is the typical lifespan of your barrels? How many rounds approximately? Like I said earlier in a post that I made, I've never switched out my barrel in my Glock 34, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but
It's a bad thing. You should have a storm like
you know,
that.
I guess I haven't had any issues yet to think that I.
Well, we expect to get 75,000 rounds out of our stainless barrels and 100,000 rounds out of the coated barrels. And that's why we use the best stainless steel you can get on the market. It's really low sulfur content. It's 416R. That's where it matters. Our barrels will be there for the life of your gun.
Well, that is why I haven't had to switch one out then, because I have not shot that many through that pistol, that's for sure.
Well, you can shoot lead through ours, and you can't shoot lead through yours, so
Right.
I don't know if that's an issue for you, but that is a big reason customers like our barrels, because they can shoot lead through our rifling.
Great way to kill
And that was
one of my
another
questions.
thing we were talking about earlier too, like for warranty purposes or anything. Is there anything voided if you do shoot, you know, reloads or?
No, that absolutely not. If people, that's why they shoot our barrels. And so if they need us to accommodate their chambers, sometimes, you know, if they have a 40 and they've shot a lot of brass to their Glock, that is a very open chamber in that Glock, and especially in a 40 with that high pressure, it really bulges their brass. And even in like a Dillon press won't get that bulge out of there. So a lot of guys that want to shoot reloads, they can send me an example of their loads and their barrel back, and I'll fit it for each of their loads. And we pretty much warranty anything. Any issue anybody has, I take care of it.
Nice. I have a live question on YouTube, and
Okay.
this question is from Haboob308. He wants to know, does Storm Lake plan to make rifle barrels?
No, we do not make anything but semi-automatic pistol barrels. We do have companies in our family that do make rifle barrels very well.
Okay. I've got another question from Colin Walters. Now, these are all going to be YouTube questions. I'm going to present these questions from our viewers from each segment. We'll hit Facebook. We'll also hit the Q&A section. For those of you that are new to the show, if you look in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen of the live stream, there is an icon for the Q&A, and we can ask those questions live for you as well. But this one is from Colin Walters. He's curious what the first model gun Storm Lake started making a barrel for. His guess is Glock.
No, we used to make, Storm Lake has been around for 35 years, and we used to make the finest Caspian 1911 pistols on the market. I am not kidding. It was a bushingless design that Burt Bastian came up with, and it was called the C1. That was the Storm Lake C1. It was a full Caspian 1911 pistol, and I actually had the opportunity to get one in here, and I've shot it, and it is amazingly accurate. But that's how they started. They used to make full custom competition 1911 pistols, and they had their own design with the C1, which was a bushingless. The barrel actually looked like a Browning high power barrel. It was a very interesting design, but it was super accurate. And then we got into the Glocks and XDs and Smith & Wesson later.
Okay, I'm sorry, the screen locked up there for me for a second. It's probably because I have so many windows open.
All right.
And then we go again. I blame Kelly. No, we said we were going to blame Anthony for everything tonight, right? Okay. I got a question, and this is a personal question from me. How much work goes into deciding what Storm Lake is going to bring to the market, such as twist rates, what kind of finish you're going to put on it? We were talking in pre-chat, and I know you're very involved in that aspect of what Storm Lake brings to the market.
Well, what what really decides what we bring to the market are all of our customers and fans. I have a database that I store emails in that I get for waiting lists or wish lists. And actually, the most popular one was an M&P Shield. That was the most requested barrel that we make, was a conversion for an M&P Shield. We make a 357, 40, make threaded barrels for these shields. So that is the next barrel that we're going to bring to market. We haven't brought it out yet, and hopefully the beginning of next year we will introduce it.
Nice. That's going to be out there.
But as far as testing and rifling twist rates goes, I personally get to test them, and if somebody wants a new twist rate, I go and I compare it to ours, and I have not found one twist rate that stabilizes rounds in flight as good as our 16-to-1 left-hand twist does.
Now, does the weight and caliber of the bullet have much of an impact or change the performance with those twist rates as well? Now, with a 40, are we going to get different twist weight than we would with the 9 millimeter, 45, and so on?
It definitely does. The bullet weights are a huge factor. We use the Greenhill formula to calculate everything, and that's how they came up with this original 16-to-1 left-hand twist rate, was the Greenhill formula. And Mr. Greenhill, in World War II, or I believe it was World War II, was the guy that designed the rifling on the big battleships that they'd shoot 50 miles, inland with these guns, and that is how they calculate the bullet weight, rifling, and length of the barrel is the Greenhill formula. So that's what Burt Bastian, when he started Storm Lake, that's what he used to calculate, and he decided then that the 16-to-1 was the best twist rate for all the calipers. He tested them all, and we don't really want to twist it up. In a pistol barrel, we're not trying to twist that bullet like a football. We don't want to throw a spiral. We want to stabilize that round in flight. We just want to get that bullet just coming out of there and just barely going and keep it stable through the flight. And through lots of testing, that's what we came up with. And I have tested many other twist rates, and this is definitely the best.
That answered quite a few of the questions I had on Facebook, actually.
Great.
One of the questions that is out here, and this one is from Jones Fox Jr. Do your barrels have increased structural integrity over factory barrels?
Absolutely. We use better stainless steel. In our barrels, our chambers can handle 55,000 psi, which I don't know if very many people know what a 460 Roland is, but it is a very high pressure 45 caliber round, and they use our barrels to shoot those. I think it's almost the highest pressure pistol caliber there is, and our barrels handle those.
Oh, okay. Better accuracy, better structural integrity, and it sounds like the warranty and customer support is going to be better than most manufacturers are offering right out of the box.
Absolutely. If anybody out there has an issue, we will take care of it. 100%.
What is the increase in accuracy? Now, this question is from Trevor Turner. Is there any way to put it into words for our viewers what the increase in accuracy for your barrels when compared to the factory barrels?
For most of the time, our barrels will cut your group size in half. Now, there are some times that you can get a really good Glock barrel that's accurate. And so we may not cut that accuracy in half, but it will tighten it up. I've had some good Glock barrels that shot great, but our barrels, I've shot them next to our barrels, and our barrels still beat them.
Okay. No,
I have pictures that customers send me, especially in M&Ps, where they're making a core open gun, and they have 25-yard groups that they're sending me that they're touching, and they're sub 1 inch at 25 yards. So, and then they showed me pictures of what their factory barrel did, and they're shooting 5 and 6 inch groups.
okay. So accuracy and consistency from barrel to barrel from Storm Lake are what we're going to see as an improvement from those stock barrels, without a doubt, without a question.
Absolutely.
And I know we talked pre-chat early this evening as well as yesterday. You mentioned that the materials and everything are made here in the USA. I know for a lot of our viewers, they love that fact. That's huge for them. And as a veteran, and I know you're a veteran as well, stuff like that means a lot to us in this day and age, and keeping stuff in-house.
Absolutely. Made in America for 35 years.
Winning. I'm gonna take a. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the.
I noticed.
Oh, go ahead, Kelly. Go right ahead.
Sorry, I turned off my camera and I seem to be able to hear better. I don't know. It's weird, but it's gonna work. So now you get to look at the Lego girl with guns. I noticed on your website you can't purchase directly from you, correct? You have links to like your distributors and dealers and stuff like that. But for special orders, I know you're talking about, oh, somebody can send me in their barrel and so on. So I assume you're saying that you do special orders on occasion.
We really don't do very many special orders. But I know Brownells, Midway, Cheaper Than Dirt, those are all our big distributors. And they mostly have special order departments, and I work with them if there's a customer that needs something. The only thing, if somebody has an issue with fitment, we try to keep our tolerances really tight and our lockup and our hood. And if the gun can be at this low end of their tolerance and we're at the low end of our tolerance and there could be some rubbing involved, and they can send it to me and I will fix it for them for free. But we do not sell direct. We only sell through dealers and distributors.
Right. Someone had a question. Why don't you make a 40 Pro barrel?
A 40 Pro barrel for an M&P?
I assume he did not say.
So we did make that barrel, and they took all of our SKUs and took them down to the top 150 selling barrels. So that, unfortunately, was not on it. It's not to say we won't make it again. We can make that. In the future, the more requests we get for those, if anybody wants those, please send me an email to support@storm-lake.com with your requests, and I'll add you to the waiting lists. So the more requests we get, the faster we'll make that. We do make a 9 conversion and a 357 SIG conversion for the Pro still.
There was also another question that says, although your barrels, oh great, I just lost it. Internet.
I got
Crap.
it. Here we go. Hey, Chad. Does
Sorry.
Storm Lake sponsor any shooters? Do you guys have a shooting team or competitive shooters under your brand?
We do sponsor several shooters. World champions. Julie Golub, she's one of our shooters. Tom Carpenter, fantastic shooter. Jason Pratt, Eric Wilson. We have several shooters that represent us well.
There's some great names that you have there, so I know that should speak for the quality of the barrels, folks. When you have high caliber shooters or high quality shooters like that using these products, that speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
So I'm lagging out again as well. Not sure if it's Kelly's or Chico.
All the viewers logging in, I'm sure.
That could be it, but I have quite a few questions coming in.
I've got mine back too whenever you're ready.
Okay, everybody seems to be really focused on and what kind of improvements they should be seeing, and that has been covered. I have a question from Chad Barber. He wants to know, how does he order a Carver comp cut thread for an MMP Pro?
They need to get that from Carver Comp. They need to order it directly from them. It's a special thread. If you just get our barrel and want to screw a Carver Comp onto it, it's not going to look like you want it to look. It's going to be away from the slide. So they need to order that from Carver. And I will contact Carver and make sure that they have an order in for that, so we can handle that demand. I know I get that question every day about Carver Comps. People want to put those on there, and they need to. It's definitely a special thread. If you want it to match your slide, I know people want it to be, really close to their slide. They need to get it custom from Carver, but they do use our barrels.
Chad, I just want to tell you, we're almost at the halfway mark. You're doing a great job. You're answering all of the questions. You're kind of answering them a little too fast. Usually
I'll slow it down.
People stumble through a little bit more, but this question should hold you down for a little bit. Carl Schramm asked, building a 1911, a 9mm Caspian 1911 with a 5-inch Storm Lake barrel. He's planning on running 124 grain full metal jacket, then coated lead when he runs out for cost savings. Any recommended bullet size or type that is preferred for 9mm from Storm Lake?
Carl, I shoot 115s out of mine, and the accuracy is there. 115s, 124s, 147s, our cut broach rifling will stabilize that round, and you won't notice much difference between the bullet weights and accuracy. I shoot 115s because they're readily available and cheaper.
It's always the best bet in this day and age.
No doubt.
And this question is from Jason Hirsch on Facebook. He said, how are you different from your competitors on the market?
Quality of steel, quality of people, quality of tolerances, accuracy, and customer support.
I know we talked about you make all this stuff there in-house from start to finish. How long does it take you to do it?
It's amazing how difficult it is to make a pistol barrel. It's 25 different machine steps and 9 hand prep steps. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks from start to finish to get a barrel. They need to get sent out for heat treat. Some of them, if they're coated, they have to be sent out for coating, and that adds a little bit of time. But usually it's 4 to 6 weeks from start to finish, and it is quite a process. I'm impressed every day.
What kinds of coatings do you all offer?
We use Isonite. It's the same as Melanite. It's a salt nitrite bath. It's got the polish quench. It's a surface hardening coating. It brings it from about 42 Rockwell hardness to about 62 Rockwell hardness. And that's why we expect the life to go up 25,000 rounds if you do get the Isonite coating. It's definitely worth it.
I have some stuff with you to show off. We were looking at it in pre-chat, so
I got guns.
Grab a gun and show us what you got. Yeah.
I can grab guns.
Now, while you're showing us these guns, you're a competitive shooter as well, a recreational shooter. You're just a shooter. Like I mentioned briefly, you're a veteran. I know you must love what you do. It has to be something that you really enjoy. And please share with us all of that stuff, all of those toys or gadgets, as I like to call them. I try to avoid that toy word.
Well, this is my blaster. I don't call it a toy. I call it a blaster. But I feel so blessed that I get to play with blasters all day and work in this industry because I do love shooting, and that's why I'm here. I can't think of anything else I'd rather do for a living than do this. So I I feel really blessed for sure.
Your face says it as well. You look like you're satisfied, and believe you me, I
So I said,
understand what that's
he's
like.
grinning and talking about guns. You know
Right?
it's good.
I've got guns, holding guns. It's a 17L. This is my one of my favorite guns. I've got a lot of favorite guns, but this is what I shoot steel with, and I love it. 17L, 6-inch slide, long sight radius. It'll shoot 50 yards all day long, and the barrel change has made it significantly more accurate. So I just sent a 17L to Daniel Kilsner, who from DK Custom Triggers, and that's that trigger. This trigger that's in here. So a barrel and a trigger. If you want your gun to be accurate, especially a Glock, a barrel and a trigger is the trick. This DK Custom trigger is pretty nice. I think it's 1.5 pounds. I wish you guys could feel that trigger pull.
Speaking of weight,
Is that the one that has the special engraving on it?
Yes. All mine have special engravings, actually. I have a laser engraver, so.
show off. Wait, are those barrels, are the Storm Lake barrels heavier, lighter, heavier because of the extra structural integrity?
You know, I don't think there's much of a weight difference in them. From the quality of, it's the quality of stainless that matters. A lot of companies put sulfur in their stainless steel because it makes their tool life longer. And the tools, the cutting tools to make these are ridiculously expensive. So a lot of companies have sulfur in their stainless to make that barrel softer and their tools last longer. Well, we use the hardest, best stainless steel, and even though we lose a lot of tool life, the barrel life is tremendously increased. Definitely worth it to us.
Sorry again, I'm flipping back and forth.
Okay.
We're at the halfway mark, folks. I just want to remind you, I posted up the link to the giveaway. Again, you'll get your choice of a Storm Lake barrel, as well as a signed copy of Julie Gollum's Shoot book, and
Great
a
book.
2-ounce bottle of Rand CLP. So definitely go ahead and hit that link. It's in the chat as well as on our Facebook page. And again, you're watching The Shooter's Mindset with Chad Henry from Storm Lake Barrels. What else you got on the table, Chad? I know you got more than just that
threaded
L.
barrels.
I know you got more than that L.
Oh, I've got all kinds of stuff. This is a Glock 21 with a threaded barrel. It's got a 13. This has actually got the 16 by 0.5 by 1 twist, so it's the metric threading for the suppressor. This is an AAC barrel, actually, AAC suppressors, and super accurate gun. This is what I carry, actually. Glock 21. Gotta love it.
Now, this is your personal firearm. That AAC option, is that something that consumers can also order? Because
Absolutely.
I was looking through the website earlier today, and I didn't see much of a differentiation on those threadings. Is this something we need to call in and arrange?
They can only get the metric threading from AAC. So AAC has a different spec on their barrel completely, and they're nice. I got it in my carry gun.
And again, when you're in this industry working with the materials and you decide to use a particular brand, that speaks volumes for that brand.
Absolutely.
You know, you work at Storm Lake, and you probably have the pick of the litter as far as who and what you work with and what you're going to use, and these are your personal firearms.
Absolutely.
That speaks.
And I'd like to mention too, a lot of people, they're concerned about carrying anything other than a factory barrel in their Glocks. Well, these barrels are designed to be accurate and reliable. I've not had any issues, and I don't even think twice about carrying my Storm Lake barrel in my Glock 21 for protection, because that is what I carry. And I also have a knife. This is another one of my favorite. And all these guns are Bonomo custom guns. Tom Bonomo out of Arizona has done work to every one of them, and he does fine work. So I just like to mention that. But these These barrels, the accuracy and reliability are unmatched.
I believe you. I really do. You're putting your name on the line here, and I've seen where these barrels are actually listed on a bunch of different websites through a lot of your distributors, and the value with you explaining everything and telling us what we can expect from these products. It's worth every penny that you're spending, and then it's hard to compare it to other things because you're not getting the warranties, you're not getting the customer service, and you're not getting the quality and materials, as you've mentioned. I'm not trying to steal your thunder, but just want to make sure we get that point out there for folks.
Yeah, man.
Kelly, you got anything for us?
Yeah, there's another question on Facebook. Roger wanted to know, have you had any projects that failed or just wouldn't work out for you?
Any projects that failed? No. There are some projects that we decided not to do. There are, we no longer make SIG sour barrels, and here's why. We get this question all the time. SIG makes a fine pistol, and we used to make barrels for them, but they match fit all their barrels and slides in Germany or wherever they are manufactured. So to produce a drop-in barrel for that kind of a firearm when they are match fitting their slides to the barrels or barrels to the slides, the tolerance, we can keep our tolerance, but their slides and their barrels are all different because they fit them custom. So we stopped making SIGs.
Makes sense. Sounds like a good business decision.
Yeah. They make a good gun, but we can't just make a drop-in barrel for it because they're fitting them custom.
Robert Todd Valente from YouTube wants to know, is there any recommendations on optimal treatment for cleaning of a match grade barrel?
Will you say that again? I'm sorry.
What do you recommend as far as treatment and cleaning procedures for competition barrels?
Keep it lightly oiled. Stainless steel, it will rust if you don't keep it oiled. The Isonite definitely helps that. But keeping it lightly oiled and bore brushing all the lead out that you can. Pretty much basic. I use a bore snake, and I don't have any issues.
I don't shoot a lot of competitions. I haven't been shooting a lot lately, but I probably run close to 1,000 to 1,500 rounds through any of my firearms before I even think about cleaning them. How often do you do that with yours?
I like to push mine to the limit as well. I like to see how many I can get through there, and it still goes bang. But I clean it. If I win, I don't clean it. But
okay. You're one of those I'll wear the same socks the entire season kind of.
No. It comes home and it gets cleaned.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Very good. That is the right answer, actually.
Okay.
I like being a Glock shooter, though. I have the flexibility to not do that. But
well, I agree. It just should be done, though.
It should be. Correct.
Sorry, I'm trying to filter through the questions that you've already answered. We have a couple of guys asking what you've already carried, what you carry on a daily basis for personal protection, and you already covered that. And we lost Kelly again. It's a juggling act tonight. It's like the night that the internet doesn't want to cooperate.
Of course.
I have a question on YouTube from Outlaw Shooters. He has 2 barrels on order as we speak. He sent the order in on July 9th to the distributor. Any idea of what the turnaround is going to be for that kind of stuff? He doesn't say any specific.
Put it in at July 9th. What model? Can you ask him what model?
I will ask. Let's see if but he didn't tell me what it is. But he already has one in his guns and he loves them. So
He can shoot me an email to support@storm-lake.com, and I can get him good lead time on it.
all right, I posted up that support at stormlake.com on the YouTube.
Awesome.
That way,
It's storm-lake.com.
Storm-lake, correct. Do you have any funny stories or any experiences at a competition that stand out the most out of all of the shooting that you do on a regular basis?
Funny competition shooting stories. I was lucky enough to get to shoot in Arizona, Rio Salado, Tuesday Night Steel for 5 years, which is like the premier steel match in the country. If anybody has not gone to Rio Salado and shot steel, they need to. I don't know that I have any funny stories. I have great memories of shooting there and getting to see the best shooters in the world compete at that level, and I think not any funny stories. Good memories.
I'll help you out a little bit here.
Thanks.
Anthony likes to name drop on this show. I've
Yes.
counted on some episodes the amount of, I think the record right now is 31. But who are some of the folks that you shoot with or have shot with that stand out the most?
So, Nils Jonassen, Rob Latham, that is who I learned how to shoot from. I showed up at Tuesday Night Steel, and I found those guys and said, I am here to learn how to shoot. What do I need to do? And they were gracious enough to show me and help me, and I really appreciate them being so great to me and really showing me how to shoot at that level. Not that I shoot at that level, but to really take my competition to that level. Now I get to shoot with all kinds of great shooters all the time, and I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, Arizona, Rio Salado has the best shooters in the world. I've got to meet Brian Enos, who I have Brian Enos's Beyond Fundamentals book, and not very many people have a Brian Enos book like this that says, I don't know if you can read that from there.
To Chad, attention. What is that? Bent habit every time, or beats habit every time. Stay sharp. Signed Brian Enos.
Brian Enos. Yeah, I got a Brian Enos signed book for my prized possessions, and I really I can really get into some name dropping with my signed Rob Latham Front Sight magazine. I've got 2 Rob Latham signed magazines. And I have a Nils Jonassen signed Front Sight magazine when he won his first national championship.
Look at that hat.
That one, yeah.
Pretty cool. It's going to be worth a lot of money one day.
Right.
Probably worth a
So
lot
what are your
now.
competition guns?
I shoot a 17L, and I shoot limited minor. This gun is fairly accurate, so if I'm not shooting alphas, then I guess I didn't deserve it. But I shoot the 17L and the Glock 21. I'll shoot limited 10.
And I know you go to some 3-gun matches. What do you shoot in 3-gun?
You know, I am not a 3-gun shooter. I go to these matches just to demo.
So you went to Rock Castle and you didn't shoot at all. You just stayed on the side stage.
I shot all kinds of stuff, but not at the match. I got to shoot suppressors and full automatic weapons and all my guns at our own bay.
And airsoft in the cave.
I didn't get to shoot airsoft at the cave. I just got to see people, but it was nice and
you
cool
went.
down there. I did go.
Yeah.
I would like to shoot 3-gun. I just need lots of
You're so
bullets.
close to Rock Castle.
It was a great range, wasn't it?
Yes.
I had a great time at Rock Castle.
Despite the rain Saturday.
And the heat. I was there 2 weekends in a
Yeah.
row, actually.
Am I losing both
Uh-oh,
of you?
did we lose?
No,
A little bit.
No, I can hear you now, Schwell.
Okay, I'm talking, but nothing's happening. I had a question from Carl Schramm again. He said, speaking of USPSA competition shooting, does Chad have any favorite drills that help improve speed accuracy more than other drills?
Well, I like to shoot plate racks at 30 yards. And I like to practice my entry and exits out of the box. That is what I've been working on. I'm going to drop another name. Travis Tomasi wrote me this awesome, my own personal shooting schedule program to train, and that the entry and exiting of shooting positions is where I'm losing all my time, and that is what I'm working on. Hard exits, soft exits out of shooting boxes.
And I just want to add that nobody ever says they love to shoot the plate rack. That
I
is
love
a lie.
I will shoot a plate rack all day and a Texas Star all day.
Oh my God, no. Those are like my nemesis. I hate
I'll shoot
those.
at a Texas Star all day. I won't.
If I have somebody to set it back up for me, I'll shoot at it all day. I get tired of
Right.
setting it up.
Shoot at it. That's the
Right.
key. We're not saying that the plates are being knocked over, but we like to shoot at them.
Well, you're a competitive shooter as well as working for Storm Lake. How much do you get to bring both those together? Like when you're out testing these barrels, are you testing the barrels while doing your drills, while practicing, while training, or is it one of those things? I've been to some manufacturers where their testing is a guy stuck in a room with a headset on, just shooting away, drop that, pick up another one, and just shooting away. How much freedom do you have to use that time for both?
Well, I shoot every weekend match that I can. We do have a range here locally that lets us come and test barrels. If we want to test a different rifling, so I get to do that. I try to shoot every weekend, and I do that and represent Storm Lake.
Chad, you're
I think
doing
we
great.
kind of already answered this some with the special orders, but Robert wanted to know, do you have the capability or desire to offer custom calibers, twists, and profiles to your barrels?
We do not do any custom work like that. We do take suggestions. So if somebody has a suggested barrel, if they send me an email to the support email, I will put it on a list.
It sounds to me like you're keeping pretty busy with just your regular ones, that maybe it's not necessarily that the desire's not there, it's just that the time isn't there for you to do all those special projects.
Absolutely. I would love to make custom barrels for everybody, but it's not feasible.
You can start by making one for me, M&P 9. Full size. It looks like Steve has joined us tonight. Chad, Steve, he is the original Shooter's Mindset co-host.
Hey, what's up, Chad? Sorry I'm late, guys. I'm pretty under the weather here, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to get in at least for the last half of the show.
Thanks for jumping in, Steve.
So we're talking barrels.
Don't give us germs.
Germs?
No viruses.
We're talking barrels. Very cool.
Yes, sir. Barrels and shooting and name dropping. Name dropping has been.
We are dropping some names.
Dropping some names today. I
have a signed Travis Tomasi thing somewhere around here that I should post out.
I was watching a little bit of the show earlier, and I know that you mentioned shooting out in Arizona. I know that pretty much anybody's done some matches out there. Who were some of the cooler people that you got to run into out there?
Man, all those people out there are pretty cool. I'd mentioned earlier that Nils Jonassen, Rob Latham, Scott Bonomo, Carl Schramm. There's great shooters out there.
Very, very cool. Do you guys have some big plans for the future that you want to maybe share a little bit about?
Well, I mentioned earlier we were going to do an M&P Shield. That was our most requested barrel. We'd also like to do the Beretta 92 and 96 with a 9mm conversion. Those are the two big ones that we've been talking about the most, and I know that there are millions of Beretta 92s out there, and it's a great weapon to suppress because the barrel doesn't have to tilt down like a Glock or an M&P design does.
Right.
The barrel stays straight, and the slide functions, and it's great to suppress. So I think that's going to be a big seller for us.
What do you guys sell more of? The suppressed barrels, threaded
Glocks.
barrel types?
Glocks, threaded, conversions. The conversion barrels are huge for us. I don't know if you guys realize that you can take a Glock 23 and put a 9mm magazine in it and a 9mm conversion barrel, and it's essentially a Glock 19, which is huge for people.
Exactly.
It makes it a lot cheaper.
So many guns right now. I'm pretty sure Springfields and some of the other more common guns have that ability as well. I'm not sure if you guys
Absolutely.
Are you guys making conversion barrels for Springfield as well?
Yep. Springfield, XD, and Glocks. Any 40 caliber gun, you can turn into a 357 SIG or a 9mm. And the 357 SIG is nice because you can use the same magazines.
Very cool, very cool.
Yep.
Is it usually 40 and 9 the two? I mean, obviously those are the most common. And obviously you can also run 357 SIG through a 40 frame. Are there any other conversions out there that people aren't really maybe aware of that you guys manufacture for?
So I carry a Glock 21 backpack, and I like to go into bear country. So my 45 ACP in bear country isn't that great, but I have 4 different barrels that I can put in my Glock 21 for different situations.
I'm betting you want to carry that 10mm, right?
I have a 460 Roland barrel. I have a 10mm. I have a 40 Super barrel, which is like a rifle round. And unfortunately, we don't make a 40 Super barrel, so I hate to say that. Everybody's going to be jealous that I do have a 40 Super barrel for my Glock 21. But I have 4 different calibers, and they work flawlessly. And in bear country, I think I like that 460 Roland better than the 45 ACP.
You do a lot of hunting as well?
I try to. I got a lifetime Tennessee hunting and fishing license.
Nice, nice. What do you prefer to? What's your favorite game?
I like deer hunting.
Can't beat deer hunting.
Yeah. We can kill like
And he
50
told me
deer a
earlier
year.
he has knives and machetes, so watch out, little critters.
I have awesome knives and machetes. I have this awesome knife. I had the opportunity to go to the Gunsight Academy in Arizona, which was a fantastic opportunity, and I have this awesome Gunsight knife that I won. Favorite knife.
Very cool.
Yeah. I really like knives and guns.
No doubt. I missed most of the early part of the show. I apologize for that. And I'm coming in and kind of taking over here, but I had so many questions, I had to get them out myself. Storm Lake primarily focuses on barrels. Do you guys have some other product line, and do you have any intentions really to look at any other items that you might want to move towards?
We focus on semi-automatic pistol barrels. We do have some 1911 bushings and links and pins. If you go to storm-lake.com, you can order thread protectors, bushings, links and pins. But we focus on making barrels.
Very cool. How you guys feeling about a lightning round? Do we have some questions for that?
Yeah, I have one more question before we can jump into the lightning round. This is a continuation of a question off of YouTube about that order that one gentleman placed in July.
Mm-hmm.
The models that he has are XD4 and the Service XD XD4 service and the XD5 and tactical both 40, and he wanted to know what the expected turnaround would be for something for those orders.
Well, I can pull that up right now and tell you right now.
It's magic.
It's magic. Have the computer.
And guys, this is an example of the customer service that Storm Lake Barrels brings to the market. This is why you want to deal with a company like Storm Lake.
He has an
That
XD
just means you
tactical
call and you
XD
ask for him.
Yes,
Correct.
we'll take care of you.
And he's
1 second.
Wait,
I'm
wait.
opening it up.
While you're doing that, I'm going to continue to talk so we don't have too much.
Go ahead.
into it.
Please.
I know that Schwell and Kelly were holding the show down pretty well. Kelly, have you heard from
Yes,
Dustin? Have you heard from Dustin? I know he's supposed to be out at the IDPA next. Do you know anything about?
No, I think he was still on the road. I don't know. The last thing I saw on Facebook was him just getting into Oklahoma, so I don't know if he got, like, kidnapped by the IDPA people, or I'm not sure.
Last thing I saw was an update of an accident that he stopped to help. He was first on scene. That was about it.
Well,
That may have
So-
been him quite a bit. Go ahead, chat.
we've got some that are coming off the wire. Step 19 of 25. Just FYI, there's 25 machine steps. That's on step 19. So it won't be very long for that that service. And the tactical, we have some. We have 2. So his order is probably one of those to go out.
Very cool. Hey, I got a quick question. I want to stir a little controversy. I'd like to get all of your opinions, if you're willing to give them. Pretty big deal about IDPA releasing that they didn't want to allow the AccuShadow. Not sure if you heard about that, Chad, but the CZ AccuShadow. It comes from the CZ Custom Shop, which is a different company technically, but it's sold.
Eddie Garcia shop.
Right, and it's sold through CZ's website as well as the Custom Shop's own website. Apparently IDPA at the last minute, basically the day before Nationals, decided they weren't going to allow that pistol to roll.
Wow.
How do you guys feel about that? I mean, they're offering loaner pistols and magazines for competitors that intended to use that gun and have used that gun in the past, but I don't know, being primarily an IDPA guy kind of caught me off guard, and I don't know if it's the right thing to do, the wrong thing to do. I can see how it doesn't really conform with their guidelines once you sit there and break down the problems with it in comparison to what the rules state. But it was kind of like a quick last-minute call, you know. Now, on the flip side of the coin is, had they allowed that pistol to go ahead and roll and then tried to ban it after the fact, people would have said, well, you let it get through at Nationals, how are you going to ban it now? So I don't know. I'm curious. Wondering if any of you have an opinion on that.
I think they have a lot of rules.
Yeah, definitely a lot of rules. Not for everybody.
My only problem is the timing. We're talking 24 hours, 48 hours before Nationals. It's made it this far. I change it now. What is it that's going on, or what impact is it going to have to let it go through the end of the year and then transition or start changing and enforce that rule? This whole, we need to do it because this is the beginning of the new quarter. It just doesn't. That portion alone is the only part that I have a problem with. If the gun doesn't qualify, it doesn't qualify. But you let it go up until now. Give us a window. Don't let guys who are already packed up their guns, already got all their ammunition packed up. They've already made travel arrangements. They've already made arrangements to be at this competition, only to find out that their primary weapon can't be used.
I wouldn't want a loaner weapon at Nationals.
Right. Now they're offering refunds for loaner weapons for anyone who shows up, who uses that platform and cannot compete with it. But I mean, it's money spent. You want to compete?
Yeah.
We came to shoot.
Yeah, and I mean, you get a refund, but your travel money's down the drain, all that good stuff. So, kind of a bad situation all the way around. You guys want to roll with the lightning round? You got some questions to answer?
It's the same typical questions. Just run through them, Steve. You and Kelly can handle that part. I'll check for last minute questions in the chat.
Sounds good. So we'll run through the lightning round real quick here, Chad. Lightning round is basically we're going to throw some questions at you, one-word answers, and I don't even have them listed in front of me, so I'm going to pull the ones I remember from the top of my head. Like I said, I was planning on being in bed sick, but I had to pop in here and say hello. So we'll go ahead and get started, and the first question is going to be 1 caliber, 40 or 9?
9.
Zombie apocalypse happens. You look out your window, they're getting heels first, man. Grabbing the shotgun, the rifle, or the pistol.
Shotgun.
Fair enough. That's a different one. Usually we end up with the rifle, but I don't know. I think I'd go with the pistol. I like having that mobility. So, you guys have the famous burrito joints over there, like Chipotle and some of these other places? What's the one burrito place you hit fastest?
The first Taco Bell.
Fair enough. That's different.
Oh no! See, he's in East Tennessee, so we've got Waffle House versus Huddle House. But
Okay.
see, being in East Tennessee, there's like a Waffle House at every exit. I'm pretty certain. So you can't pass that up, right?
Absolutely. And you can see what they're cooking.
Right.
You can't argue with any place that's got bacon. So, you got any for him, Kelly?
Did you already do the Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee?
No. Chuck Norris versus Bruce Lee. Who takes it?
Bruce Lee.
All right, fair enough. And I'll do one more. Who's going to the Super Bowl, man?
Arizona Cardinals.
Interesting choice. All right. Very cool. That'll conclude the lightning round. Not bad.
I don't even know. If I just pick a team with a cool mascot, I don't even know. I don't do football.
I have a hard time thinking that there's going to be a lot of teams that can beat Seattle again this year, but maybe I'm crazy. They just looked so dominant last year. And, they didn't have a completely dominant win this past week, but they still look pretty strong. We'll
Check
see.
the Storm Lake. I know you guys do SHOT Show. Do you do the NRA show as well?
Absolutely, yeah. It was a great show.
That's close to you next year, so or
Yeah.
all the time.
It was in Indianapolis this year. It was great.
And somewhere in Tennessee next year.
Nashville, yeah.
Nashville, yeah. It'll be nice.
I look forward to going up there and experiencing that. I haven't been to an NRA show yet, and I think I'm going to skip SHOT Show and go to the NRA show this year.
You should go to both.
I'll try. Depends on what the wife says. But, guys, you've been watching The Shooter's Mindset. Before we go into our shout-outs, I'd like to talk about the giveaway one more time. The link is listed on our Facebook page as well as on the YouTube show. It will be listed in the description as well. It will run until midnight as usual. And what we're giving away tonight is a signed copy of Julie Gollop's Shoot, a 2-ounce bottle of Rand CLP, and one of those fantastic barrels from Storm Lake that we've been talking about all night. And you'll get first-hand experience. So please enter, guys. There are a lot of different things that you can select to increase your chances of winning.
That's awesome. So they'll get to choose the caliber they want, right, Jeff?
Absolutely. Any standard barrel.
Very, very cool. Obviously, the make and model. That's cool stuff.
Well, I'd like to thank you for joining us tonight, Chad. And
Thanks for having me.
as my first time hosting the show, hopefully I didn't do too bad. Hopefully we don't lose
Great.
any viewers. But I hope you enjoyed yourself. This is where I ask the panelists to get their shout-outs, and we'll start with Steve tonight. Do you have any shout-outs for us tonight, Steve?
Yeah, I got a few shout-outs. I'm getting back to the competitive shooting world here. I picked up some new sponsors, got some old sponsors. I'll touch on a few of them here. Obviously, Terran Tactical Innovations has always been a great company helping me get where I need to be. as well as Weapon Shield, which is a new sponsor for me. George over there supplying me with the best product in the world for lubricating the firearms. PDS Rifles, of course, has been behind me for a very, very long time. And I'm going to leave it at that for right now, but got some more big stuff coming up in the future. Check out my YouTube channel, obviously, which is called Making Masterclass. Competitive shooting videos. I am an IDPA guy. I am trying to work my way up the ladder to get to that master classification. So that's pretty much it for me, man. I'm just glad to have had an opportunity to talk to Chad for a minute. Appreciate him taking the time to be on the show.
Hey, Kelly, you got any shout-outs?
Well, if I can stick around here long enough, I have no idea what was up with my connection. We had some really, really bad rain showers last night to the tune of about 6 inches in 4 or 5 hours last night. So I don't know if water got in the wires or what is going on, but it's just awful. So first of all, I want to send out an extra little bit of love to Chris Sereno and his family, which most of the shooters here on this panel and most of our other shooters know they're having a little hiccup in their life right now, but they're going to be back in no time, and Chris will be back on the range. Then my normal people, Voodoo Tactical, Extra by RCI, Frog Lube, which I might add, I love how all of us are representing different gun cleaning lines and stuff, and we don't fight about it. It's just what we have, and you know, it works on our guns, and they're all running, so somebody must be doing something right. Leantech USA Animal Customs, Benchmade Knives, Patriot Cases, Notch Gear, TACCOM, and Bale Zero.
Great. Chad, you have any shout-outs?
Yeah, my mom and my dad. Say, what's up, Mom and Dad? Oh, nothing.
There you go.
All my friends here in Tennessee.
That might be the best ones, the best shout-out ever.
Storm Lake Barrels, the website again. What was it? What's the address to that website, Chad? I don't think he's hearing me.
I think you're lagging out, Chad. I didn't hear anything you said.
We're getting some lag.
The website again. How do we find the barrels?
Storm-lake.com.
Perfect. Nice.
Well, I'll close out the show tonight. Shout out to all of our viewers. I want to give a special shout out to Lisa Marie Judy. We only met through the Shooter's Mindset, and she's been a great support. She's put me in contact with Animal Customs and a whole bunch of stuff, and just helped me continue on with my channel and my channel growth. And again, that's Schwell11 on YouTube. I want to thank Chad for being a great guest tonight and working with us with our limited capacity. You did a wonderful job, and I'm sure that support at storm-lake.com is going to be full by tomorrow morning with a lot of questions.
I look forward to it.
That should keep you busy for a few days.
No doubt.
And I'd also like to tell everybody to check out the gearlocker.net for reviews on gear, accessories, and firearms. And last but not least, shout out to Anthony, who is spending the night with family, doing that family thing, and that's why he couldn't be with us tonight. Again, we are on every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. And stay tuned for an announcement for the winner of tonight's giveaway, as well as the announcement of the guests for next week. And with that, our show is ending.
All right, guys, episode 58. Chad, thank you.